Hi everyone. So what I'm going to show you today is how to download and install Visual Studio 2019 on your machine. Now, Visual Studio is going to be the application we're going to use to develop all of our games. It's also the application we're going to write all of our code in. So in order for you to download it, all you really have to do is just go to Google, type in Visual Studio 2019, and the first link is usually visualstudio.microsoft.com. So that's the link you want to go to. Now, once you open that link, you're going to be presented with a web page that looks something like this. Now, as of the date of recording, the Visual Studio 2019 is the latest stable edition that exists right now. However, 2022 Preview Edition also exists. Now, usually you don't want to use the 2020 preview or the preview edition just because it might have some bugs, it might crash on you, or just give you a big headache. So we're going to stick with the stable release, which is 2019. And for every major Visual Studio release, there are usually 3 editions. There's the Community Edition, the Professional Edition, and the Enterprise Edition. Now, the Community Edition is used for solo developers or for a small team of developers. The Professional Edition has some tools that can help out in communicating between medium to large teams. And seeing you're just going to work on your own, and even if you're part of a small team, you really don't need the Professional Edition. You can just stick with the Community Edition. For Enterprise, well, we're not an enterprise, we're not a corporation, so we're not going to use that. So we're just going to stick with the Community Edition, and we're going to download that. Now, when you download that, you are going to find an icon that looks something like this. And if you open it, it's going to install and download a bunch of things. It's not that large. It's going to be around 22-25 MB. And once that is done, it's going to present a window for you. And the window looks something like this. Now, Visual Studio is used to develop a lot of different applications. You can develop web applications, desktop applications, mobile applications. In our case, we're just going to develop a desktop game, really. So what you want to do is scroll down, and you're going to find game development with C++. So you're going to check that, and you're going to click on install. Now, once you click on install, it might take anywhere between 15 minutes to an hour to download everything and install it. And it really depends on your computer speed and your internet speed. So once that is done, we're going to open Visual Studio for the first time. I'm just going to show you how to use it. So once Visual Studio opens up for the first time, you're going to be presented with this window that asks you to sign in with a Microsoft account. Now, if you don't have a Microsoft account, you can create one, and I highly recommend you do that. Otherwise, your license for using Visual Studio will only last for, I believe, 30 days, if I'm not mistaken. So in order for you to use the application forever, you can just create a free Microsoft account, or you can just sign in with your existing Microsoft account. In my case, I'm just going to say not now, maybe later. After that, this window is going to show up, and it's going to ask you what development setting you want to select. In our case, we're going to select Visual Studio C++ because that's what we're going to program in. And then it's going to show you 4 different themes. Now, I'm a fan of the dark theme, so that's what I'm going to select. And then I'm just going to click on Start Visual Studio. After that, you're going to be presented with this window, and you have 2 options: either create a brand new project or open an existing project. In our case, we're just going to create a brand new project, and I'm going to select the C++ language and select the Windows platform. And after that, I'm gonna click on create empty project, and I'm gonna click on next. Now it's going to ask you to name the project name, and I'm just gonna call it game. And it's also going to ask you to provide the path. Where do you want to save this project? In my case, I'm just gonna leave it as is and click on create. And there you go. You're gonna end up with a window that looks like this. And in the next video, I'm just gonna show you how to get started. See you then.